Cluster of 5 Buddha relic stupas made by Ashoka. Cluster of 5 Buddha relic stupas is Sathopur. And folks, this is the Panchane river in the name of the 5 Buddha relic stupas. And this is the uncle and nephew rocks which are just next to the 5 Buddha relic stupas. And folks, this is the Panchane river, dry river bed, which has taken its name from the 5 Buddha relic stupas Ashoka made. And folks, this is your Sathopur. Sathopur is the 5 Buddha relic stupas which Ashoka made with the leftover relics that had remained after making 84,000 stupas, folks. After making 84,000 stupas, 5 stupa relics remained. So Ashoka made this cluster of 5 stupas southwest of the small mountain, which is in Biharsharif. And folks, why it is called Sathopur, and Sath means 7, but these are 5 stupas. So why it is called Sathopur and not 5, and why the river got its name Panchane means 5 parts. Folks, to understand all that, see this video till the end. Now folks, that I've shown you the little mountain which Ashoka had polished for meditation. The rocks were polished for meditation, and rock houses were made for Ashwagosha, his head priest, etc. Now Zang goes on to say, southwest of that are 5 little mountains. Which are actually 5 Buddha relic stupas. Now according to Zang, what happened was those 5 relic stupas, Buddha relic stupas. See, everyone knows the story of the Ashoka confiscating the relics from the original stupas and dividing the relics between 84,000 stupas. After dividing the relics amongst 84,000, there was enough chinks left. There were enough chinks of relics left for 5 more stupas. So this was the leftover chinks. So he made 5 stupas, 5 small stupas. Zang calls it 5 small stupas, and they look like 5 mountains. Now they look like 5 mountains, small mountains. And Zang says that in his time, people had started, making homes on top of these little stupas. So basically, and then now there is a controversy. The controversy is the local people. According to the local people, it wasn't Ashoka's stupas. They say that the Nanda kings before Ashoka had made these stupas to hide his wealth. The Nanda kings before Ashoka had made these stupas to hide the wealth, to hide his wealth. So folks, naturally other kings would lust for that wealth, because Nandas, they are the ones who chased away Alexander the Great. They were the top warriors. So the Nandas, but the rumor was that it was the stupas were hiding the Nanda's wealth. So according to Zang, there were attempts. A king had come with his army, elephants, etc., to rob the stupas. But explosions took place. This is very important because Western Buddhists, they keep making fun of robots protecting the stupas. Actually, It is what do you call it? Some what do you call it? Device, explosive device which Ashoka used, which in which when people dug into the stupas exploded. Because see this story, you see this story, and the head priest of the first Ashokan Buddha relic stupa, when he dug into the stupa to put marble on the floor, the explosions took place and he was thrown against the temple wall, folks. This happened around 8 years ago. The head priest, which I showed you, he was thrown against the temple wall because of the explosions. But of course, they thought it was the sun god who was angry. Anyway, this is very important because that means those 5 stupas they had, you know, there were traps in it, there were contraptions in it which would explode and I think destroy the relics, folks. Anyway, this is what Xuan Zang says, that the rumor was that it was the 5 stupas hid Nanda king's 7 jewels, 7 types of jewels. Folks, just southwest of the little mountain is what you call it, Sathopur. Sathopur, yeah, next to the Panchane river. Panchane, Panch-ane river. Understand, next to the Panchane river is this, what do you call it, these 5 stupas. So folks, check out what Xuan Zang has to say, and I'll show you the Sathopur in satellite pictures, and then you can see pictures of the place. Now that Xuan Zang has shown us the, what do you call it, the small mountain and the pile of rocks which was Gardpar. After that, let's see what he shows. To the southwest of the mountain is a collection of 5 stupas. The foundation are lofty but ruinous. What remains, however, is a good height. At a distance, they look like little hills. Each of them is several tens of paces in front. Men in after days tried to build on top of these little stupas. Men in after days tried to build their homes on top of these little stupas. So you see, today it is all, all the stupas, over all the stupas you have villages. But Buddhists are lucky because they kept the stupa name alive. The records of now, what he is saying, to the southwest of the mountain is the little mountain, the small mountain, is a collection of 5 stupas. The foundation are lofty but ruinous. What remains, however, is a good height. At a distance, they look like little hills. Each of them is several tens of paces in front. Men in after days tried to build on the top of these little stupas. The records of India state, in old time when Ashoka-raja built the 84,000 stupas, there was still remaining 5 measures of relics. After building 84,000 stupas, there were 5 shares of relics still remaining. Therefore, he erected with exceptional grandeur 5 other stupas, remarkable for their spiritual portents, miraculous, and with a view to indicate the fivefold spiritual body of Tath&gata. Some disciples of little faith talking together argued thus: in old times, Nanda-raja built these 5 stupas as treasure places for his wealth. What wealth? 7 precious substances. 7 precious substances. Folks, this is the, what do you call it, catchword. This is the catchword which will show you where the stupas are. In consequence of this gossip, in after time, a king of in insincere faith and excited by his covetousness, put his troops in movement and came with his followers to dig the stupas. The earth shook, the mountains bent. The earth shook and the mountains bent, and the clouds darkened the sun. Whilst from the stupas there came a great sound like thunder. The soldiers with their leaders fell back, and the elephants and horses took to flight. The king, thus defeated, dared no longer to covet the treasure. It is said, moreover, with respects to the gossip of the priest, there has been some doubt expressed, but we believe it to be true according to the tradition. According to the tradition. So basically, there is the Ashoka made 5 relic stupas with the leftover relics he had. He made 5 relic stupas with the leftover relics he had. And what happened was, the gossip of later on after Ashoka's life, the gossip was that it was the Nanda kings who had made it to hide their wealth. And one king tried to steal from it. But what happened was explosions took place, and smoke came out and covered the sky and the mountain. Folks, this explosion took place in another Ashokan stupa just 8 years ago, in what is Ashoka's first Buddha relic stupa, which is a sun temple today. And the explosion took place, and when they tried to open the cupola, and the people thought it was the sun god. So folks, this story which Xuan Zang says is not to be taken lightly. Basically, there is the fact that the explosions took place 8 years ago. That means there is some sort of live booby trap in these stupas, because Ashoka knew that people would try to steal from these stupas. So there is some sort of booby trap in which explosions occur. And this is the third time Xuan Zang narrates such a story. So folks, this is it. Now the catchword of these 5 stupas is that the catchword is lofty but ruinous, but the catchword is with a view to indicate the fivefold spiritual. In the old times, Nanda-raja built these 5 stupas as treasure places for his wealth. 7 precious substances. What was the wealth? 7 precious substances. This gives the game away, and you can find the stupa. See, here is the satellite picture of the small hill. Folks, where is the small hill? Choti Pahadi, there. That is the small hill. Okay? And southwest, he said, southwest is Sathopur. See, remember I told you that the catchword was that 7 types of precious substances. 7 types of precious substances. Fivefold spiritual bodies built it. 7 precious substances. So what do you call it? The 7, and that was southwest. See, to the southwest of the mountain is a group of 5 stupas. See, here is the mountain Choti Pahadi, and what do you call it? Choti Pahadi, and this is Badi Pahadi. The southwest of that is Sathopur. So this is the place where Ashoka made 5 stupas. And folks, what gives the game away is the name of this river. See, he made 5 stupas. This is Sathopur. This name is according to that rumor that went around that it was actually made by Nanda-raja to hide his
jewels, his seven precious substances. Seven, Sath means seven. Sath means seven. But the name of the river gives the game away. This is Panchane river. Panchane means, Panch means five, Ane means five parts. So the river is named after the five stupas. Panchane river, the five parts, that is Sathopur. Okay. Now folks, check out the photos of what the stupas look like today. It is all, thickly clustered houses on top of the stupas, folks. And just check it out. And then check it out.
The five stupas are below these cluster of houses, folks. The five stupas are below these cluster of houses, which is why you cannot see the stupas. It's thickly populated. Okay, now folks, this is Sathopur. Sathopur, the five Buddha relic stupas which Ashoka made, which was the leftovers of the relics, folks. The leftovers of the relics. Like after making 84,000 stupas, Ashoka had enough relics left, which was enough for five little stupas. So he made this cluster of five Buddha relic stupas. And you read Xuan Zang, the rumor went around later on after Ashoka's life. The rumor went around that actually it was the Nanda kings made stupa. Nanda kings made stupa. So basically, and the Nanda kings had hidden their wealth in this stupa, these stupas, of which there were seven precious substances. Seven precious substances. That is why it is called Sathopur. Sathopur, the seven is Sath. So seven precious substances. But folks, the river, the Panchane river gives the game away. Panchane river means Panch-ane. Panch-ane means five parts. Panch is five and ane is five parts. So the river gives the real story that this is five parts of the Buddha's relics. And Panchane, the Sangrama's name is Pachauri. Pachauri means the leftover relics were the Buddha's intestinal relics. The leftover relics were the Buddha's intestinal relics. That is what Pachauri means. So the Sangrama, which is in charge of this, I will be showing you the Sangrama in the next video, means that the five relic stupas, which is today called Sathopur, has got the Buddha's intestinal relics enshrined. So folks, I have shown you, and you know the story of how it got its name, Sathopur. And folks, of course, Xuan Zang tells the story of how a king tried to come and rob the stupas and blasts took place. Now this is not a cock and bull story. This is a fact because 8 years ago, in the first Ashokan Buddha relic stupa, blasts took place 8 years ago, and the priest was thrown against the wall. Folks, of course, they thought it was the sun god who was angry. So basically, there seems to be some sort of booby trap to protect and that booby trap is still alive. So to protect all the precious substances in the stupa. So folks, this is your Sathopur. Enjoy the video. If you found this educative, then follow, like, subscribe to my page Buddha Exhibi, and inform your friends and relatives about this video and this channel.